racing with a lot at stake. The drag boat racing season is nearing its end with point championships on the line in several of the 15 boat classes.
Starting at 9 a.m. sharp.
Shortly after the gates open, the public begins to arrive. Before long, thousands crowd the shoreline as the field of boats in each class are reduced to the 2 fastest, leaving one final run for the division title.
I love drag boats. I like things that go fast. I got a high interest in boats, and it's great. It's a good day to be here.
I like to come out here and watch the boats go fast, and they're not as loud as the cars. The cars are too loud. It hurts my ears.
I own a boat myself, so I kind of feel what they're doing. I don't go nearly as fast as these guys do, but just being on the water is a lot of fun, so I like racing on the water.
The rules on the water, for the most part, are the same as the rules utilized by the auto dragsters. The size of engines and types of fuel used establish the boat classes. 2 drivers pitted in a race the distance of just over 1,300 feet. However, on water, it's a rolling start for the boats, not a standstill start like the cars. Consequently, in some situations, the fastest boat is not necessarily the winning boat. It's the time between the starting line and the finish that counts. And because of this rolling start, some pretty high speeds are generated.
If we can't run over 180 today, we shouldn't have come all the way from Oklahoma.
160 is the fastest I've been in this one. I think the record's around 170 in the class.
212 is not bad, but when you start running a 5-second ET, that's when you have your hands full. You know, we've made passes in excess of 212, and they've been nice. We made a pass yesterday of 203, and it was absolutely terrible.
The speed sensation is more one of acceleration than it is sheer speed. These boats have several. When you stand on the gas, there's several things happening there, several physical forces. The back of the boat's coming up, the boat's going forward, of course, but the propeller's wanting it to go sideways, and there are a lot of things that happen there in that first half of a second. And those first 3 seconds are probably the most exhilarating. The speed, whether the thing goes 150 or 180, the driver is not that much aware of that.
A lot of time and money go into the preparation of one of these boats for an event which usually lasts no more than 10 seconds.
We've been in the class about 6 years now, and we've spent approximately $200,000 getting where we are now. The actual per run cost used to be as high as $1,000 per run, and I haven't calculated lately, but the fuel itself is $1,600 for one 55-gallon drum. And it uses 4 or 5 or 6 gallons sometimes on a single pass down a quarter mile.
We probably have around 25,000 in the motor and probably another 20,000 in the boat and rig. So you're probably 40 to 50,000 is what you wind up with any kind of competitive. A lot of people have a lot lower. This is a pretty high dollar unit.
The boats are between $12,000 and $15,000 without the motor. Major cost in this type of racing is in the motor. Our engines are worth about $28,000 to $30,000.
As the elimination heats are run, it soon becomes clear which are the better boats. However, in many cases, the difference between winning and losing is less than a second. While the drivers are lined up waiting their turn on the course, it gives them a little time to reflect on past runs and mentally prepare for the upcoming one.
I think more than being afraid, the good drivers have a very healthy respect for what these things can do for you as far as bodily damage is concerned. But very rarely do you see a good driver in the water, in the staging or commitment area, afraid. Respect, yes. Fear, not so much.
The first thing, probably the hardest thing, is when you're on the line and you're on the rope, is to get yourself dialed in on the starting light, you know? You're sitting in the boat and the thing's shaking and rattling and it's noisy, and you have to catch the light within 100. If you're more than 1 or 2 hundredths late on the light, in this class, you will probably lose.
We're green. Green.
By now, it should be obvious that it takes a special type of individual to get behind the wheel of one of these boats. In a car, all you're really doing is pushing the throttle to the floor and guiding the vehicle through the course. However, in these races, the surrounding elements play a bigger role in the outcome. A sudden gust of wind or a little chop on the water could prove disastrous. Although you will find one or two drivers who have jumped from automobiles to boats, they are few and far between, and with good reason. Unlike the cars, there are no roll bars, no protective covering, not even a seatbelt.
I tell all the drag car guys that someday they'll graduate and get a boat.
We just don't have as much control over our race course as the car racers do, and as a consequence we crash a lot more than the guys do in the cars, and we don't have as much protection. We obviously don't want to be tied into the boat and go down with it. When you get pitched out, you stand more chance of doing damage to your body than if you're strapped into a roll cage, and the roll cage stays intact just sliding down a course. So I think the danger aspect has got a lot to do with the reason the asphalt racers don't like to come play with us.
One by one, the final heats are run, leading to what the crowd has been waiting for all afternoon, the showdown in the blown fuel hydro division, the fastest boats to compete. In the slowest division run, if you can call a winning time of 107 miles per hour slow, Tony D'Annunzio drove his River Racer jet boat Quick Trip to a 0.3 of a second victory over Jim Passetti. Other division winners included Roger Miller, 145 miles per hour in the competition hydro, Wes Wenger, 145 in the unblown gas hydro, Mo Churchman, 155 in the blown fuel jet, and Steve Hess, 176 in the blown alcohol hydro. In that blown fuel hydro class, the finals pitted the division's two top drivers, Eddie Hill of Wichita Falls, Texas, the record holder, against the native of Walnut Creek, California, Tim Morgan.
Eddie's the best, okay? And I'd like to be the best, I guess. Eddie's good. He's done a lot with so little over the years. He comes out here and he whips us all the time. He is very good. We do feel that we're one of the only boats that may be competitive to race him. We have raced him before. We'll go out of our way to go where he goes, so we do get the chance to race him.
For Morgan, a victory would secure the points championship, but more importantly, the win would be the first ever against Hill.
Well, he's the guy out here that's gone faster than anybody else, and he's the only guy that's really actually ever gone faster than one of my records. He did get one run in over my official record. He didn't back it up, but I'd say the best competition is the most fun to beat.
In the semifinals, it was an easy victory for Morgan's flying machine. Dick Sugden's boat broke down at the starting line. Morgan had only to finish to qualify for the finals. For Hill, it was a different story. Greg Arts and the Nighthawk battled the Texan to the finish line. 1/10 of a second separated the two boats.
And the right hand right over the 689 turn 216.
It was a big victory for Hill, a possible record run.
Did that make the record official? Too fast? It didn't back up to 213? It didn't?
That's what they said.
But there wasn't time for celebrating. Morgan was back in the pits getting his boat ready for the final run. And soon Hill would return only to discover a problem with his engine. A blown valve in the number 8 cylinder, no spare parts, nor was there enough time to make the repairs. The two boats were put back into the water, now just moments away from what everyone had come to see.
Here they come to the starting line.
Hey, Eric, we made it to the fourth quarter.
That's for sure.
I'll let y'all go. Congratulations again. Thanks, Ed.
Running on 7 cylinders, Hill still made a race of it.
We stuffed a rag in the intake port on number 8 and cut a piece of a tin can and blocked off the port, put it under the gasket, taped the spark plug wire off on the valve cover. You can see I'm running with one empty spark plug hole there, and tried it on 7 cylinders and only ran 211. What can I say?
Tim Morgan, the winner, 210 miles per hour. His time, 6 1/4 seconds. Just a half a second ahead of the Texan, Eddie Hill.
He's good. When you beat him, you know you beat somebody. You know, you saw what he did. 211 on 7 cylinders. That's what I said. I says, I know him. 7 cylinders don't make any difference to Eddie Hill. That's the way he is. It's good.